I'm going to just start making more videos that you guys want to see because a lot of the technical analysis, like the real in-depth, like really good shit, like nobody clicks on it. So this title might be something along the lines that maybe made you click, but how I made $3,000 in 2 weeks trading the NASDAQ 100. There it is. How I made $3,200, 66 trades, 334 contracts, average hold time was 8 minutes. Let me kind of remind you something here. About 90% of these trades were done taking micros too, by the way. You don't have to trade mini contracts. 80% profitable trades. Total P&L is $3,000 in 2 weeks. So why is that number significant? Well, because that number is significant because you need $3,000 more or less to pass a $50,000 evaluation. Okay. You also need to make around $3,000 to have, not even a comfortable cushion, but at least a little bit of a cushion to take a payout from Apex, to take a payout from Top Step, and all of these other prop firms. Again, $3,000 I think should be a pretty good mark. If you can make $3,000 in a month trading NASDAQ futures or ES or the Dow or whatever, asset you want to trade, if you can make around $3,000 a month, okay, so the stats I just showed you were for 2 weeks, but if you can make $3,000 a month, you're going to pass evaluations, right? If you can do this over and over and over again, you're going to build your portfolio of funded accounts. If you can make $3,000 a month, you're going to be able to take a payout. One payout of, let's say, $1,000 from that account times 3 accounts is now $3,000 a month. Times 5 accounts is 5,000. Times 10 accounts is 10,000. You guys can do the math. You can get almost infinite number of funded accounts. Places like Apex allow you 20 accounts, which, by the way, right now is 80% off. Use code DAnthony. You can get 5 accounts with Tradeify. You can get 5 accounts with Take Profit Trader. You can get another 5 with Top Step. You can get 5 across the board with literally almost everyone. And in some firms, maybe it's 3. Some firms, maybe it's 10. Whatever, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is that you don't have to go way crazy, right? So how did I do it? Well, first things first, I'm going to keep shit very, very simple, okay? One of the main things that I want to avoid is, again, I want to keep things simple. I want to stop doing stupid shit, okay? What does that mean? I want to stop over trading. A lot of us have problems with over trading. Let's say we make a little bit of money off the open, then we give it all back, then we go into this panic mode of I need to get back to flat, right? So stop doing dumb shit. Set a realistic daily loss goal, right? So let's say, for example, you're trading a $50,000 account. I would set something in the ballpark of $250 to $500 max. $500 would be if you're a lot more riskier and have a bigger risk appetite for as a trader. Maybe $150 to $250 if you're a little bit more moderately diversified in terms of your risk, where you don't like to over leverage yourself too much. You don't like to take too many trades. Some of you guys out there like to take a dozen trades a day. Some of you guys like to sit back and snipe that one good entry. The choice is yours, realistically. What's been working better for me is trying to find 1 or 2 setups. Normally, depending on the given day, we typically get an initial move off the open, and then we're getting some type of consolidation followed by a move going into lunch. Okay, that's typically what's been happening as of late. Maybe 2 days out of the week you get a move coming out of lunch where, let's say, the market was selling off, you get a big pop at the end of the open, at the end of the close. Let's say the market was pushing higher, you get a little bit of consolidation and a slight pullback after lunch. So start to learn these things, start to learn the dynamics of how the asset that you're trading moves. For example, there's a lot of prop firm traders who have switched to the ES now. Why? Because the volatility is a little high. You can't handle the 50, 60, 100 point swings against you. I got an easy solution for you. Stop trying to trade 5 mini contracts with volatility where you can see 100 to 150 point candle. Maybe you can make the same amount of money if you're trading 2 or 3 micros, opening up the stop loss 50, 60, 70 points, but also looking for 50, 60, 70, 80 points on the profit side. Again, if you've been trading the NASDAQ, I know that the S&P and the NASDAQ, they kind of move hand in hand. But let me make something clear. If you've been trading the NASDAQ, there's no reason to switch to the ES just because the ranges are more volatile. What you need to do is simply adjust your position size so that you can withstand the volatility. Because if you live, eat, breathe, sleep, and just diversify yourself, or indulge yourself in the NASDAQ 100, why the hell would we go start looking at a different asset class? Now, again, before people get their panties in a bunch, I understand the NASDAQ is going to kind of sometimes follow the ES, and the ES sometimes will follow the NASDAQ. Essentially, they're going to move in tandem together, right? I get it. Now that rant's over, how can you make $3,000 in 2 weeks, right? Well, again, we've got the basic stuff out of the way. We want to keep things simple, meaning I don't want to be looking for a dozen different setups a day. I'm mainly looking for 1 or 2 setups, okay? So as soon as you identify those 1 or 2 setups that you're looking for each and every single day, sit on your hands and wait for those 1 or 2 setups. Stop getting FOMO. You are not a little kid. I do not need to tie your hands behind your back and force you to not click the buttons. Be an adult and don't click the buttons. If your setup hasn't presented itself, there's no reason for you to freaking be getting in trades. It's very simple. A lot of people ask the question all of the time, how do I get over this psychology, this mental block that I have of, feeling like I want to get into trades and then over trading? You stop getting into trades and you stop over trading. Okay, it's very simple. How you tell me you want to lose 10 pounds, but you're not going to lose 10 pounds by eating 20 freaking ding dongs every day and eating McDonald's 7 times on the hour every hour. It's just not going to happen. And then on top of it, you're laying on the recliner for 8 hours a day. You're not going to lose 10 pounds, right? So it's the same with trading. If you want some things to change, you have to change. Okay, so that goes back to keeping things simple. 1 or 2 setups a day, guys. Again, make sure you guys are really utilizing the ATR, average true range. If you're a 5-minute trader and you kind of use maybe, let's say, the 15-minute or the 30-minute as confluence, that doesn't mean that you're dropping down to the 1-minute, then the 2-minute, okay? Because you're not getting any setups on the 5-minute. If you normally trade the 1-minute, and you're kind of getting chopped up a little bit and you can't really find those setups, it doesn't mean you go and you open up a 1-hour chart and now you try to force yourself to sit there and be patient. You have to trade the time frame that you're comfortable with. Don't just trade the 1-minute because you're going to get more setups. More setups doesn't necessarily mean more money, okay? The same rules apply. If you're a 5-minute or a 15-minute trader, and the market's in a range, for example, today, I only found 2 setups today. Now, could I have jumped into a couple of trades, a couple of scalps here on momentum? Sure. But in terms of what I was looking for, there was only 2 setups. The first setup that I was really looking for here was a break and hold over the overnight session highs. We got that. The second setup that I was looking at was, are we going to clear out 19,152? That was the next supply zone that I have here. I've got the daily 20 SMA here. If we were going to confirm 19,152, I wanted to see a break, hold, and then a continuation. That didn't happen. So that next setup that I was able to find here was this inverse hammer candle. Through the rejection of this supply zone, we get short there. This is our max pain. Also, how can you make $3,000? Again, you guys can maybe make $10,000. I'm just giving you my numbers, my stats. But how can you make $3,000 in the next 15 to 30 days trading futures? With prop firms. Well, another thing is stop shooting yourself in the foot by having these eensy, weensy, bitty, tiny little stop losses, especially if you're trading the NASDAQ. And no, before you say, let me go over to the ES, just stay your butt put on the NASDAQ, but open up the stop loss. Right now, the NASDAQ is really not allowing you to, okay, unless you're trading like a sub 1-minute, chart. And even that is not going to really work. I'm just using that as an example. But right now, if you're trying to have a stop loss of like 10 points or under on the NASDAQ, it's just probably not going to work. You're probably going to get stopped out more than you're not. And then you're going to just be taking trade after trade after trade just to basically break even or, finish red or finish slightly green. You're not really going to grow your equity curve. So what you need to do is you need to identify a little bit more structure in terms of where is the price heading? What have we been doing macro wise? And if I take this trade, can I leave this trade running so I could potentially squeeze 30, 50, 70, maybe even 100 points off this move? As of late, especially this last month, we've seen 1 minute candles of 60, 70, 80 points. I've seen 5 minute candles that are 125 points. If you're on the right side of a 100-point move, even if you're only trading, let's say 3 or 4 micros, you're going to be making $200 a contract, which could potentially be anywhere between $400 and $600 between 2 and 3 micro contracts. Times that, times 10 days, over the course of 30 days, right? Over the course of, it's actually 22 and a half trading days that you're going to get in the next 30-day rolling period. If you can just win half of those days, and those days where you do make $400, $500, $600, $700, you can keep those days larger than your average losing day. Let's say, for example, our average winning day is $490. Let's call it 500. We don't want our average losing day, if that's going to roll around once every 3 days, once every 5 days, to be $1,500. Our average losing day needs to be probably somewhere around $200 if we're going to make an average of $500. That way it keeps our consistency slowly growing that equity curve in an upwards trajectory versus having one big day followed by a flat day, followed by negative red, followed by a blow up because you're trying to get it back. So, what are the 3 best tips that I'm going to offer you to make $3,000 this month trading prop firms, trading futures? One thing, stop doing stupid shit. Guys, set a realistic profit target on the day. Don't go out there just because you see everyone else making $10,000 today and tell yourself you want to make 10,000. Realistically, this is my rule of thumb. What is your salary? Okay, what is your salary at your current 9 to 5? Cut that in half. What is your average daily salary for the day? Cut that in half. I would start there. If you can make X amount of dollars, whatever that is, great. Walk away. Build on consistency over the course of 30, 60, 90 days. As you get better and as you start seeing progress and as you start seeing payouts, you can go up to, okay, if I make X amount of dollars a day, doing my normal 9 to 5, if I can make the same, right? Now we're no longer trying to make just half of that. If I can make the same as what I make as a 9 to 5, I will be okay and walk away. Okay. So when you think about it, let's say, for example, someone makes $150 a day. Okay. I'm just going to throw out a basic number. Let's say someone makes $150 a day. If you can make between $60 and $80 trading the futures, trading the NASDAQ, trading the ES, trading the Dow, build some consistency on that. In a couple of weeks, you might make $1,000. You might make $1,500. Over the course of a month, you're going to see $2,500 in profit. You're going to see $3,000 in profit. It's the traders who are going out there trying to trade 10 accounts all at once and telling themselves, if I can just make $1,000 on all of these accounts today, I'm going to make $10,000. I'm going to be rich. And they're not rich, right? Again, this trading stuff is not easy, guys. Some days it's going to be really, really great. And some days we're going to wake up and we're going to look at the charts and we're going to act and we're going to feel like we don't know what the hell is going on. Again, the second tip is you've got to set a realistic daily loss limit. Okay. So whether that means an auto lockout feature on your platform, whether that means you have to have someone come and pull the plug of your computer, your PC from the wall as soon as you lose X amount of dollars, I don't really care. But let's say, for example, if you're going to make an average of $200 to $300, we've got to keep our daily loss limit between about $150 and $200. That way, all in all, if you have 3 winning days and then you have 1 losing day, you're only giving back 1 of the 3 winning days, which means you're still net positive 2 days. If you go on another 2-day winning streak, now you're up 4 days. And if you lose the 3rd day, now you're back down to 3 days. So it's all about working, in the sports gambling world, we call it a unit system. It's all about working a unit system that is going to allow you to keep your bankroll. That's what we call it in the sports betting world. So for those of you who are familiar with sports betting, you guys understand that terminology and what I'm talking about. The same thing is good with trading. If you have a $2,500 drawdown, we cannot go out there and afford to bet, okay, aka trade, half of our bankroll in the day. So if we have $2,500, there's no shot in hell that we're going to allow ourselves to lose half of our bankroll, which is $1,250 in one day. How do I maybe want to break that up? So I'm going to be allowed at least 10 trading days, maybe around $200 a day to start. As your balance starts to increase, you can slowly start to increase that daily loss limit. The more you risk per day, the more also we are looking to make profit-wise per day. Again, if you guys are interested in learning like the real nitty-gritty type shit, you want to learn actual strategies, setups that work, price action that works, supply and demand that works, but more importantly, the effing mindset that it takes to actually do this. I've been trading for 13 years, 12 and a half years, almost 13 years in the summertime. I'll be the first to tell you, you're going to lose a lot of trades. You're going to have sleepless nights. You're going to be pissed off. You're going to be stressed. But if you do keep on focusing on the process and focusing on, I hate that. It sounds so cliche. If you just start working on the things that are actually going to get you to success, like actually are being things that are going to make you more productive as a trader, you will get there. The moment you stop doing stupid shit, the moment you slam your head into the wall a million times and you realize that everything that I've been doing the past 3 months, everything that I've been doing the past 5 years is not working, I need to do something differently, is the moment you're going to start to break through and see the light at the end of the tunnel. If you guys want to trade with me, I offer a 30-day boot camp. You guys can get in the room. You guys can trade with me live. I screen share. I call out the levels in real time. You can talk to me via voice or chat, however you want to do it. And we can sit there at a round table and we can trade these levels each and every single session that we are in there for the boot camp. You also get access to my course. You also get access to my community. And you also get access to me being your buddy. I'm a really cool guy. Trust me, I'm not that bad. With that being said, I'll see all of you guys on the next video. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I am almost at 10,000 subscribers. And again, if you want to make $3,000 in the next 2 weeks, the best way to do it is to hit the like button. I'll see all of you guys later.